Right now on 11/11, late word just in from police. An arrest is made after a woman is shot and killed at a condo complex in far eastern Jefferson County.
What we know about the victim and what neighbors are saying about the suspect. Also, a night of terror is over for people living in the Nashville area. The man accused of opening fire on a Waffle House full of people has been captured, now facing new charges.
Former President George H.W. Bush is hospitalized just days after saying goodbye to his wife and First Lady Barbara Bush. The latest on what happened and what doctors are saying about his prognosis. And this just in as we come on the air here at 11 o'clock. Police say they've made an arrest. Arrested a man after a fatal shooting in far eastern Jefferson County where neighbors say they don't see much commotion or police lights. Thanks for joining us. I'm Doug Proffitt.
And I'm Lisa Hudson. Police spent much of the afternoon looking for clues as to why a woman was shot and killed inside her condo near Norton Commons.
11/11's Robert Bradfield is here now with more on what neighbors are saying about the victim and the person who police were talking to early on today. Robert?
Yeah, and LMPD just making the announcement of that arrest. We know Gavin Perkins has now been charged with murder and domestic violence. Police also confirming to us he is the son of the shooting victim. Taken from the scene on a stretcher, neighbors tell us this man shot and killed his mother inside her Worthington Glen condo.
God love her. I'm just so sorry.
Margie Miller says she knew the victim well, living in the unit behind where the shooting happened. She says the woman, who may be in her 60s, recently became a grandmother for the 5th time.
She just had a brand new grandbaby a couple weeks ago.
Miller says the woman's youngest son moved in not too long ago after returning from an overseas deployment. Police have not said what led up to the shooting, but they consider it an isolated case. Despite hearing that, other neighbors say they will be more on guard.
I've got a camera on my door, you know, and I'm just going to be alert. And I'm going to be out walking more and see something, you say something, big time.
Jeffrey McIntosh first moved into the East End neighborhood 20 years ago. He considers it a quiet area for the most part until recently.
But I tell you what, in the past few years, I've been seeing a lot of weird stuff.
It will be a restless few nights for Miller, left with her own questions as police continue their investigation.
I just can't believe it. I mean, she's a beautiful person.
Again, police just announcing an arrest here. Gavin Perkins charged with murder. LMPD has not released the name of the victim, his mother in this case. We should know more when the coroner completes an autopsy. When we do know more, we will bring it to you. Robert Bradfield, 11 at 11.
Thank you, Robert.
New at 11, former President George H.W. Bush has been hospitalized, entering the hospital the day after attending his wife's funeral.
The president's spokesperson said on Twitter that Mr. Bush is, quote, responding to treatments and appears to be recovering. Mr. Bush was taken to the hospital on Sunday morning, the day after the funeral for First Lady Barbara Bush. An infection had apparently spread to his blood. The former president has had his share of health problems in recent years, including hospitalizations for pneumonia and chronic bronchitis. He uses a wheelchair due to a disorder that mimics the effects of Parkinson's disease. Also new information tonight is the 29-year-old gunman accused of shooting and killing 4 people at a Waffle House in a Nashville suburb is now facing 4 counts of criminal homicide. This is a brand new picture released since our 6 o'clock news of the suspect, Travis Reinking. Reinking was captured at about 2 o'clock Louisville time this afternoon, not far from the scene of the shooting. He'd been on the run for more than 30 hours. Police say he fired an assault-style rifle on customers and employees inside that Waffle House at 3:30 in the morning. When Reinking was found in a wooded area, he had a backpack that contained a firearm, ammunition, and a flashlight. Right now, police are still looking for a motive, but people living near the scene say they are relieved.
It made me restless last night, because I'm just thinking, I'm like, what if he's still in our complex? What is going on? You know, but I did feel safe yesterday with all the police being here, but I do wish they would have searched this area a little bit more.
And now that he's caught, what's your feeling?
I just feel glad that, you know, justice is served now.
We're also learning more about Reinking's criminal history. In 2017, he was arrested by the Secret Service for trespassing at the White House at the time. His 4 firearms were seized by police and eventually turned over to his father. Police say the father has admitted that he then gave all the guns back to his son, including the rifle police say Reinking used on Sunday to gun down the victims. An ATF special agent said in Nashville today that his father could now face federal criminal charges for returning those guns.
Now to a developing story of two shootings that happened in Buchel on Sunday. It happened on Bardstown Road near Bashford Manor Lane, and right before 4 o'clock, the coroner's office announcing the man shot by police has died. He's identified as 37-year-old Miguel Escalona Vivas. The other victim, believed to be shot by Vivas, is still in critical condition. Police say this all started with a fight between two people, then reports of someone shooting. Witnesses called a West Buchel police officer who was close by. Police say that officer and an off-duty Hurstbourne Acres officer confronted that suspect. Police say the suspect was armed, shots were fired, and that suspect was hit. The parking lot of this Cuban restaurant on Bardstown Road turned into a crime scene caught in the middle of violence.
We have so many families with kids and everybody coming here. This should be a very peaceful place to come, and having all these issues in here scares really.
Well, right now it's unclear which officer fired and hit the suspect. Both departments are small departments, so there's no body camera video. LMPD is investigating. Both officers are on paid administrative leave.
We're going to have a bit of a rainy night ahead. Showers look just to the southeast of Louisville. If you live in Shelbyville, you might be hearing the rain falling once again. Started off as a rainy day, and then we got a little bit of a break.
Yeah, we had such a beautiful weekend, Ben, and then...
Oh, it was.
Yeah.
It's a Monday. You know, we got some rain on Monday. We'll have a little bit more tomorrow, but overall, I think you're going to like that extended forecast coming up a little bit later. But we had that rain creeping back up from the south, as Doug was mentioning here, moving over Spencer, Nelson, Marion, Washington, Greene, Taylor, and Adair counties there. And it's going to continue to move closer and closer over the metro a little bit later on tonight as well. Had about a half-inch of rainfall earlier and could see up to a half-inch of rainfall more in some areas overnight. Again, pretty wet around Springfield, Lebanon, Bardstown, now Campbellsville, Greensburg, and the Columbia area. Still mostly dry, just a few sprinkles and spots over the metro area, and some of that light rainfall moving up towards Shelbyville as well at the moment. As we expand out, those temperatures pretty steady in the 50s with that rain. It's not going to get a whole lot cooler overnight, so comfortably cool overnight. Slow moving upper level low pressure system. No severe weather out of this, just some more scattered rain for tomorrow. Futurecast is showing this. We look hour by hour. Tomorrow morning it's going to be wet in spots. Have the umbrella, that rain jacket ready to go. Once again, we start off in the 50s, 60s when it's dry tomorrow, 50s when we have some of that rain left over for tomorrow afternoon. Some of that rain lingers into tomorrow night as well. Temperatures again steady in the 50s, a low of 54 degrees, and tomorrow we'll make it back into the 60s. I think you'll like what we have in store for the weekend. I'll show you how nice it's going to be coming up.
All right, Ben, thank you. Looking ahead, the state's largest school district, JCPS, has been under an audit for more than a year now, but it could be getting closer to the final recommendation. The Kentucky Department of Education's interim commissioner, Wayne Lewis, will be visiting JCPS later this week. JCPS leaders say they are ready to move forward and hopeful that his in-person visit from the commissioner will help them do just that. School board member Linda Duncan says the district is feeling optimistic about the visit. She says they plan to show off the improvements they have made since the audit began in 2017. That includes addressing the achievement gap and a new racial equity policy. Duncan says they are hopeful that they will avoid what she calls a worst-case scenario, which would be a full state takeover of JCPS.
I think that while we're not certain that we will avoid takeover, I really believe that it's something that we feel good about showing and sharing with him, the things that we are working on, the progress we've made, and that takeover will not be a necessary decision for him.
Lewis says he wants to make his recommendation by the end of the month. If the commissioner does recommend a state takeover, JCPS will be granted a hearing in front of the board before the state board votes to implement Lewis's recommendation.
Changing times and demand means the end of the line today for Jeff Boat. Jeff Boat launching its last barge earlier today. The inland shipbuilding closing up shop after today, a company that's been around for about 185 years. The company announced in February that it would be shutting down the facility by the end of April due to a continual decrease in demand. 200-plus employees were laid off at that time. Today was the last day for its remaining 80 workers who were forced to retire or find work elsewhere.
I know there are hard feelings from employees who are losing their jobs. I get that. Time goes on and we evolve. There will be good things that come from this property. You've still got 65 acres of prime property. It's no longer going to be a place where barges get built, but it's going to be a place of significance to the history of Jeff in the future.
Now, Mayor Moore says the city of Jeffersonville would pick up the tab for the environmental cleanup of that area should Jeff Boat donate the property to the city.
And classes will be in session for Oldham County students on Oaks Day Friday, after a recommendation was approved during a board meeting tonight in Oldham County. The Oldham County School Board approved using May 4th, Makeup Day, but says the last day of school would remain on Friday, June 8th. So far, graduation dates have not changed in Oldham County.
10 people are dead, 15 injured after a van plowed into a crowd in Toronto. The driver of that van now in custody as investigators look for a motive.
And pretty easy to see here on Max HD radar. We have some more rain on the way. I'll show you when this system will come to an end and when more rain chances will come back later this week. Coming up next in our Storm Team forecast. Now your Kentucky Lottery jackpots. Mega Millions $96 million. Powerball $158 million.
The Kentucky Lottery. Fueling imagination, funding education.
Your weather forecast is more than just numbers on a screen.
That's why you get it from us.
We're looking at all the models as we're tracking the storm.
We analyze the whole weather story.
Break down how it affects you.
Like I told you earlier in the week, this system is coming together.
Getting it right. Going the extra step so you know what to expect.
And this front's going to stall out right here in the Ohio Valley.
Don't settle for just the numbers. Get the forecast that's certified most accurate by Weather Rate. The WHAS11 First Alert Storm Team is on your side.
The WHAS Crusade for Children, June 2nd and 3rd. Please be generous.
New tonight.
We have what may be the greatest team of talk show guests ever assembled.
Marvel Studios' Avengers Infinity War week begins, and the cast is here with an exclusive, never-before-seen clip.
Enjoy the movie!
Jimmy Kimmel Live, new tonight on ABC.
At Baptist Health, we want you to know the facts. Visit BaptistHealthDocs.com to view a video of Dr. Lebnan Saad on understanding sleep apnea. Baptist Health LaGrange. Be a healthier you.
Playing a $2 scratch-off is like giving yourself a little treat. But playing a $5 scratch-off really takes the cake with more ways to win and better top prizes. Put a little more play in your day with Kentucky Lottery scratch-offs.
Save that $1 tip you were going to give your barista. Then come to Arby's from 2 to 5 and get sliders, cookies, small fries, drinks, and snack shakes for $1 each. Arby's, we have the meats.
On your side, this is WHAS 11.
A terrifying scene in downtown Toronto, a van barreling down a crowded street, mowing down pedestrians, coming to a stop on a sidewalk.
Here's the latest at this hour on this. At least 10 people are dead and 15 others hurt. But that driver is also in custody as investigators are trying to track down his motive. ABC's Maggie Ruley brings us an update.
The man believed to be responsible for this horrific tragedy is now in custody. Police say 25-year-old Alex Manassian was behind the wheel of this white van, seeming to target people on this busy Toronto street.
He just started hitting everybody, man. He hit every single person on the sidewalk. Anybody in his way, he would hit.
It was lunchtime, just before 1:30 p.m. The van driving 16 blocks, nearly a mile and a half, ramming into people again and again.
Everyone started running and screaming, and he hit this one lady, and she went flying. Then he hit another lady.
police finally corner the van, and after a tense standoff where the driver's seen holding an object and heard asking police to shoot him in the head, officers take him down unharmed.
From an investigative perspective, I can tell you that we have received numerous witnesses that have come forward, but we're still looking for more witnesses. This is not over yet. We're far away from being over.
Bodies in the street covered with orange tarps, shoes left abandoned in the middle of the street. Bystanders had to quickly jump into action.
There was 4 bodies on the ground. Police and the ambulance hadn't arrived yet, but people were trying to revive them.
Police are still searching for a motive.
There would appear to be no national security connection to this particular incident.
Maggie Rulli, ABC News, New York.
I want to let you know that a section of roadway in Bullitt County has been closed off because the embankment is starting to slide right away from the roadway. The embankment slide is on Colberg Road, about a mile south of Lebanon Junction, right on the Bullitt and Hardin County line, as you can see on our map. And take a look. These photos sent to us from the crews there right now. Crews are evaluating how much damage the slide has caused and what repairs need to be made. The road will be closed there in Bullitt County until the repairs can be made and the roadway made safe again for traffic.
Well, you'll soon notice some new TARC buses around town thanks to federal funds. The Federal Transit Administration is awarding TARC $3.6 million to replace its oldest and highest mileage buses in its fleet. That money will go towards replacing some of the more than 60 buses that have traveled over 500,000 miles and 23 buses with 700,000 miles. TARC's 225 buses carry nearly 12 million passengers a year with 50,000 trips every day.
And a new vehicle is rolling off the lines in central Kentucky. Today, the Toyota plant in Georgetown unveiled the all-new 2019 Avalon. The plant, the largest Toyota production facility in the world, just outside Lexington, already produces the Camry and recently received a $1.3 billion investment. The new Avalon comes in 4 different models, including a hybrid version. It's expected to be on car lots this spring.
Well, the Kentucky Derby is now just 12 days away, and one local business is getting into the spirit. The Comfy Cow has released its 2018 Kentucky Derby flavors. They include Pharaoh's Fave, that's a spiced carrot cake ice cream. Phillies and Lilies is a vanilla ice cream with cashews, chocolate flakes, and pomegranate swirl. The Rose One, like its name implies, is a rose-flavored ice cream with strawberries. And then there's a sherbet called the 2-Minute Mango, and you can try out the flavors at any of the Comfy Cow's 6 Kentuckiana locations.
Who put that story in at 11:15? You know, you always want a late night ice cream treat, and there it is.
A nice late night snack right
and
there.
Of course, Comfy Cow found it here locally, so it's great to always help the local businesses. But those are creative names. I like those.
Those are pretty creative, and it's a good time to start having ice cream. We're finally getting warm enough to have ice cream.
Well, I don't know. Is it ice cream type heat you're talking about coming up here?
Yes. In parts of the 7-day forecast, especially this weekend, it's looking great. We have some really great news by Saturday and Sunday and into Derby week as well for next week. Today, we've had some friendly April showers, not too heavy, around a ½ inch in most locations. Kind of kept down the pollen a little bit today. No severe weather, and I don't see any severe weather chances over at least the next 7 days as well. Kind of just relax and enjoy some 60s throughout the work week. You can see rain chance continues tomorrow, a lot like today, some dry time, some wet time. And then Wednesday dries out, Thursday's dry, and then a weak front may bring in just a few showers late on Friday. We'll see that with our long-range futurecast in just a moment. Temperature trend slightly below normal for the rest of our work week. That means 60s for the most part. And then above normal Sunday and Monday. And when we're above normal this time of the year, that means we're looking at 70s and 80s on the way. So, again, some good stuff to talk about coming up. 57 degrees out there. Temperatures really can't fall down much more. Dew point at 51. It's not going to go below that. And we have some cloud cover and some rain that's going to be on the way as well. You can see that rain moving into Bullitt County here, just off to the south, and Spencer County. Still mainly dry over metro Louisville, southern Indiana. Starting to get wetter and wetter around the Bluegrass Parkway, Bardstown to Taylorsville, as you can see there. Springfield, Lebanon, Campbellsville, Greensburg, Columbia, and Munfordville, all getting in on that light to moderate rain. A little bit heavier for some areas off to the south and the east, but no lightning, and again, no severe weather is expected. Still pretty dry over southern Indiana, areas west of I-65 at the moment, but we have plenty more where that came from. You can see that steady flow of wet weather coming in from the south. It's all wrapping around and into an upper level low pressure system right there. These are slow movers, pretty typical this time of the year. The jet stream takes a little dip and that low gets cut off, so it doesn't get pushed out of here very quickly. So it looks like that we'll have some clouds, maybe a couple of sprinkles lingering into early Wednesday. We'll see that here on Futurecast. A wet start tomorrow morning here at 8:30 a.m. Temperatures are comfortably cool, though, in the 50s. May just want that rain jacket and umbrella ready to go. Won't need the sunglasses tomorrow, a lot like today. If you have some dry time, you're in the 60s. If it's wet over the top of you, it'll be in the 50s, and then you can see some of the sprinkles kind of lingering around into early Wednesday here. This is 9:30 on your Wednesday morning. We'll take that clock and that date into Wednesday afternoon as we begin to see maybe a gradual clearing, maybe some more sunshine returning by late Wednesday. As we go into Thursday, dry time here with our long-range Futurecast. Notice by late on Friday, we are going to see this front moving into the area. That may bring just a few light rain showers again. That'll pass on by, and we're looking at dry weather for Saturday, Sunday, and into early next week. And it looks like we are going to be on the warm side of this air mass moving in. So next week, it looks like a nice warm-up on the way with some 80s in the offing for us. More showers in your forecast for tonight, though. Low temperature 54 degrees. Sun up at 6:56 tomorrow morning. And again, comfortably cool. Scattered rain tomorrow, a high of 65 degrees. Our sunsets now right around 8:30. And again, some areas could see maybe a half-inch of rainfall for tomorrow. Nothing too heavy, no flooding concerns expected. 66 Wednesday as we dry out. 67 Thursday, 68 Friday, so kind of going up degree by degree. Saturday 70 and some sunshine, a little cool to start off with for the mini and the marathon in the 40s and 50s, but it should be good running weather for that. The only kind of hiccup for the Great Balloon Fest might be Friday evening if we get a couple showers. But there we go, Sunday 78 into Derby Week, Monday 80 degrees, and it looks like the 70s and 80s may roll on for much of next week as we kick off May.
Ooh, so we're going to be sweating at the Derby.
Hip, hip, hooray. Perhaps. Now, around Oaks and Derby, little weather model difference between the European weather model and the GFS. So we're kind of waiting until we get a clearer picture there. But it looks like some 70s at least.
Great balloon race Saturday morning, so the winds are always tricky for them.
I think the winds are going to be pretty light. I don't see any strong storms anywhere near us.
All right.
That'll be good.
Always a fun event. Thank you, Ben. Kentucky gets some good news tonight when it comes to next year's roster. And a high school coaching legend has died. Ken Spencer has these stories next in sports.
The WHAS11 First Alert Storm Team is on your side.
The First Alert Storm Team forecast on WHAS 11 News is sponsored by Elite Heating and Air Conditioning and The Door Store and Windows.
Score big at the Markdown Madness sales event at the Kia stores. Take home a spacious new 2018 Kia Sorento SUV for only $189 per month. And if you have a job bringing home $350 per week, we want to approve your credit. Visit KiaStore.com.
What's your emergency?
I just saw a truck hit a car.
Any injuries?
I'm Mike Braun, and I approve this message.
Meet the Swamp Brothers, Congressman Todd Rokita and Congressman Luke Messer. Todd and Luke fast-tracked Obama's trade deals and voted for billions in new debt. There's more. Todd and Luke voted to fund abortion provider Planned Parenthood and Obama's executive amnesty. Todd's no conservative. He's a fraud. Luke's no conservative. He's a liberal. Todd the fraud, Luke the liberal. The Swamp Brothers. Wrong for you.
Your home is more than just four walls. It's the comfort of knowing you can handle any challenge. It's the power to make once-in-a-lifetime memories. It's the excitement of turning good into wow. Inspire big change today with a little equity at an amazingly low rate. But hurry, these rates won't last forever. So don't miss your chance to make this year your year. Commonwealth Credit Union. Here, we see you differently.
Clients have trusted the Becker Law Office for more than 3 decades. If you or a loved one has been in an accident, give us a call. We'll make sure you get what you deserve. Just dial 3s.
Score big at the Markdown Madness sales event at the Kia stores. Drive home a sporty new 2018 Kia Stinger for only $189 per month. And if you have a job bringing home $350 per week, we want to approve your credit. Visit KiaStore.com.
Well, it appears Quad A Green is definitely heading back to Kentucky for his sophomore season. That's what his mom told the Lexington Herald Leader tonight. It was widely reported that transferring was an option for Green, who averaged 9 points a game as a freshman, but when he went from being a starter to coming off the bench during the season. Dwayne Lucas has saddled 48 starters in the Kentucky Derby, which is tied with Todd Pletcher for most all time. This year's contender is going to be a long shot in Bravazzo, who's currently 12th on the Kentucky Derby leaderboard standings. Bravazzo was impressive winning the Risen Star Stakes, but then struggled finishing 8th in the Louisiana Derby.
Well, I don't understand the Louisiana Derby with him. If Gary was on him for the first time, he could have seen something. Gary got in trouble over there real bad, and he absolutely took him out of the race. We have seen nothing like that since, so I don't know that. I'm not putting any stock in that because I think he's a real honest horse. I think if he's got one thing going for him, he can probably get a mile a quarter, and I think he's very honest and manageable.
Well, Todd Pletcher will have 4 starters at Derby 144, and they finally arrived at Churchill Downs this afternoon. First off the truck was Noble Indy, who's 4th in the Derby standings and winner of the Louisiana Derby. Then Audible, who won the Florida Derby and is 3rd in the standings. Magnum Moon, who leads the Derby standings and was so impressive in the Arkansas Derby, may just be the best of the bunch. And last out, Vino Rosso, who won the Wood Memorial and is 5th in the standings.
Great to see last year's Kentucky Derby winner Always Dreaming back as well. In fact, he'll be training during the special Oaks and Derby training sessions as well. We've designed a special red Kentucky Derby winning saddle towel that fans will be able to see the Kentucky Derby winner train during that exclusive training period.
Well, Combatant, who's trained by Steve Asmussen and Jerry Hollendorfer's instilled regard, are now in the 20-horse field for the Derby after Quip and Gronkowski were pulled from consideration. On the baseball diamond tonight, Buddy and the Bats hosted the Charlotte Knights. Bats down 1-0 in the bottom of the second. Man on third. Doesn't have to be pretty to get the run home. The pitch gets by, and we are all tied up. Bats now down 4-1 in the bottom of the fourth. Runners on second and third. And this isn't what they were looking for in this situation. But the ground ball, good enough to get another run home. Not enough, though, as Louisville falls to Charlotte 5-3. Jim Riggleman and the Reds facing the Atlanta Braves tonight. Cincinnati at 5-2 with the bases loaded in the bottom of the sixth. Scooter Jeanette goes the other way with a little blooper that finds grass. 2 more runs come in to score, and the Reds were just all over Atlanta tonight, 10-4. Some sad news to report. PRP baseball coach Bill Miller has passed away after a 2.5-year fight against lung cancer. Miller won 6 state titles and had more wins than anyone in state history during his 39-year career leading his alma mater. His last state championship with the Panthers came just a year ago. PRP principal Kim Sawyer released a statement on the passing of Bill Miller, saying the PRP family has lost a true legend, adding he was a father figure to hundreds of players, coaches, and members of our community. Bill Miller was 68 years old.
It's SUV season at your local Ford store. The best time to get behind the wheel of America's best-selling brand of SUVs. Check out the first ever Ford EcoSport, the attention-getting Edge, the tech-savvy Escape, and the adventurous Explorer. Ford SUVs, always unstoppable. And now during SUV season, you can lease a new 2018 Ford Explorer for just $299 a month. That's only $299 a month. But you better hurry. This offer won't last. Get to your local Ford store now.
Playing a $2 scratch-off is like giving yourself a little treat. But playing a $10 scratch-off really stacks up the fun with more ways to win and better top prizes. Put a little more play in your day with Kentucky Lottery Scratch-Offs.
It's Ashley Home Store's lowest prices of the season. Huge store-wide savings on every item in the store. Or pay no interest for 48 months. Plus, buy one, get one 50% off accessories store-wide. Going on now at Ashley Home Store. This is home.
If you are told you have a heart condition, the first thing you should do is get a second opinion from the top-ranked heart care team in the nation. Cleveland Clinic has been ranked #1 for 23 years in a row.
I want somebody that's done thousands of my operations, not 3.
With over 1,700 physicians, surgeons, and caregivers specializing in the research and care of heart conditions, Cleveland Clinic has an unparalleled record of successful treatments and provides you with the most advanced heart care technology the world has ever seen. It's total care for you and your family. We can even offer same-day appointments.
This is unlike any place we have ever been before. It really is patients first.
The best heart care in the nation is closer than you think. Call today to arrange your second opinion or talk with a heart nurse. We're available 24/7. Call Cleveland Clinic at 833-217-2339.
It's the lowest mattress prices of the season at Ashley Home Store. Get a free box spring with select mattress purchases or pay no interest for 6 years on Tempur-Pedic mattresses. Queen mattresses starting at only $28 per month. Ashley Home Store. This is home.
Playing a $1 scratch-off is like giving yourself a little thrill ride. But playing a $5 scratch-off really revs things up with more ways to win and better top prizes. Put a little more play in your day with Kentucky Lottery scratch-offs.
On your side, this is WHAS 11.
We've been waiting for that spring weather, and it looks like it's finally stabilizing, right?
And a week ago we had snow on Monday, so that's not happening anymore, Doug. You can stop talking about it until next winter.
Listen, I was there when it sprinkled a little snow on the Derby at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. It can happen. I'm
not letting that happen this year. 65 degrees tomorrow, some scattered rain. Just pack the umbrella again for your Tuesday. It looks a lot like what we had today. Wednesday is drying out, 66, 67 on Thursday, and 68 by Friday. A few more showers late on Friday. Weekend is looking fantastic. Saturday, 70 and 78 on Sunday.
Wow, pretty nice. 80s coming. Yay!
It's a celebration.
Robert Downey Jr., just one of the guests on Jimmy Kimmel Live, right here next.
Introducing the new 2018 Ford F-150 with best-in-class towing, best-in-class payload, and best-in